Well, the next few minutes, you're in for a very special treat because the name Spinks is indelibly etched in boxing history. The name Spinks is also part of St. Louis sports history. Like his older brother, Leon, Michael grew up in the crime-ridden projects in St. Louis. He was 4 years old when his father left the family. His mother, Kay, was a tough, God-fearing woman who survived on welfare and made her kids read the Bible every day. Michael was a reluctant gym rat. His brother, Leon, urged Michael to work out with him. In fact, Leon was Michael's first boxing opponent. Michael said, Leon kept hitting me. He was hitting me. I was crying. He said, you're my brother. Leon kept hitting him. Finally, Michael hit him back, got Leon in the face a few times, and an incredible boxing career began. Unexpectedly, Michael made the United States Olympic team in 1976, along with brother Leon and Sugar Ray Leonard. Michael and Leon both won Olympic gold medals in Montreal. As an amateur, Michael won 93 of 100 bouts. 93 of 100. While he was working in St. Louis in a chemical factory, supposedly scrubbing floors and cleaning toilets. He turned professional finally in 1977 as a first-round knockout of Eddie Benson in Las Vegas. That started a 31-fight winning streak, 31 in a row. Eventually, Mike completely dominated the light heavyweight division to the point there was no one else to fight. So he did what he thought was the thing to do. As light heavyweight champion, he jumped to the heavyweight division. With a lethal right hand he called the Spinks Jinx. He jumped to the heavyweights and he beat two opponents before challenging Larry Holmes, who was trying to tie Rocky Marciano's record of 49-0. The heavyweight champion. But it was Michael Spinks who made history that night with a unanimous decision to become the first world light heavyweight champion to also become the heavyweight champion of the world since 1908. In June of 1998, Spinks was knocked out by Mike Tyson in a title fight. It was the only loss in his career. He finished 31-1, finishing out a career with 21 knockouts. Michael has been inducted in the International Boxing Hall of Fame, the World Boxing Hall of Fame, and tonight we welcome him as a member of the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame. Michael Spinks. Have the microphone. Michael, thank you for coming back. Do you get to St. Louis very often? I have a feeling you don't.
Not that much.
Yeah. The amazing thing to me about your career, first of all, you fought 100 times as an amateur?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I can't.
Hold the mic closer to you, Mike.
I can't remember fighting that many times, 100 times.
Well, that's what your bio says, but I believe you rather than that.
I mean, I think a lot of us had, when they did come up with that question to ask a bunch of boxers how many fights had they had, and they just threw numbers out there. Because, I mean, I know I didn't have no.
You'd have had to fight every other week.
I had about maybe 30, 40, 30, or maybe about 40 at the most.
But at 100, you'd have to fight every other week.
Yep, I think so too.
One boxing publication called you the most accomplished light heavyweight of all time. That's a pretty good accomplishment.
Yeah, that's nice.
Have you met Conrad Dobler over there?
Yeah, I used to watch him. I remember watching him, man.
Butch Lewis.
I tried to be like him.
Tell me about Butch Lewis. He really convinced you to turn pro, didn't he, or get involved?
No, he didn't convince me. The job I had convinced me. But the thing was, after I won a gold medal in the Olympics, I was like, well, I'll see how life goes for me when I get back home.
Right.
I said, if things don't turn out too well, I guess I'll, turn pro. But I didn't want to turn pro because of the business being so dirty. And I didn't want to have to hurt nobody,
Dirty in the sense of promoters, you mean?
Promoters.
Yeah.
I didn't have a manager, but.
Yeah, but you got a manager eventually, obviously.
Yeah. Well, my mom was for a minute, and then I just didn't have any.
What you did something no other light heavyweight has done, and that's move up to the heavyweight ranks while you were still light heavyweight champion of the world. That must have been a remarkable decision because it hadn't happened in some 80 years. Did you just simply run out of people to fight in the light heavyweight?
That's what it was. My promoter, he dubbed it, I was too good for my own good. Because I had cleaned up, not cleaned up the whole light heavyweight division, but I have fought a number of guys that were the best in that weight class.
And there was nobody else to fight, huh?
Well, it was, but they didn't want. But they didn't want to pay me their money to fight them. I had to. They wanted me. Well, they wanted most of us to enter into death matches. You know, the ones that person could really get hurt in.
Right. You didn't want to do that.
No.
Your victory when you went heavyweight, you fought a couple of fights, and then you fought Larry Holmes for the heavyweight champion of the world. Now, Holmes was 48-0 at that point. He was trying to tie Rocky Marciano's record of 49-0. And you beat him for the heavyweight championship of the world. Now, some people called it controversial, but it was a unanimous decision, wasn't it?
Yes. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. And you know, in watching the fight, in watching the fight myself, I mean, I just outclassed the man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was old at that time, too, wasn't he?
No, he wasn't that old. He wasn't that old because I don't think I would have went in there to beat up an old man. You know? He was a little older than myself.
I covered the fight in Las Vegas when your brother beat Muhammad Ali for the championship. And I remember seeing you out there. And you were his biggest cheerleader at that point, weren't you?
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Because Leon was my inspiration, you know. When I was growing up, he learned how to fight really fast. I mean, he was just adapted to the boxing skills, and
he was really quick, wasn't he?
Really fast hands, and he could fight combinations.
Now, tell me about the Spinks Jinx.
Well, it's a punch that we kind of like, Leon and myself, always threw in our amateur careers. Throw the overhand right, and both of us knocked our opponents down in Montreal with that punch. So when we came out of the Olympics, we just dubbed the punch a Spinks special. But then my promoter, he said, "No, it's called Spinks Jinx." You know, so that's how that.
Yeah, it was Spinks Jinx on the side of your trunks, wasn't it?
Right, it was the Jinx, Spinks and Jinx on the side of the trunk.
Who was the toughest guy you ever fought?
Well, it had to be Michael Tyson.
No doubt. I covered that fight, too. I didn't know you wanted me to bring that up.
No, that's fine. I'm not, you know. Like I said, I mean, I didn't hang around for...
You hung around for 90 seconds.
Yeah, right. I didn't hang around, you know, to get my features rearranged and changed, you know.
He was
me out of there real quick, so... I was glad of that. You know, if I wasn't going to win, I didn't want to hang around for no beat. I didn't want to hang around to get beat all night. You know what I'm saying? Hell with that. If I'm going to lose, get me out the way.
That fight was in Atlantic City. I remember it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, you were 31-0. You lost that fight. 31-1. You never fought again. Why?
Well, I thought I had went as far as I can go. I mean, I climbed the mountain pretty high, you know. I beat the undefeated heavyweight champion, and after that, then I had a few more fights, and I just didn't think it was good to just hang around. I never wanted to climb the ladder again.
Well, I don't blame you.
If I ever lost, I wanted to be the champion when I lost, and have fought all the fights I could possibly fight, and then when I lose, I get on out the way.
31-1's not bad.
Not bad.
Okay, finally, it seems to me today that boxing isn't nearly as popular as it once was. You can't even name most of the heavyweight champions. There's so many divisions, but MMA has kind of taken over. How do you feel about mixed martial arts?
Well, it's interesting to watch, you know, these guys kicking each other in the head and elbowing them in the face. And
would you have liked to have done MMA?
No, no, I wouldn't have liked to have done that. I like the gloves. The gloves, you don't get, your features.
You can't, and you probably
can't that bad.
You probably can't kick that high either, right?
Probably couldn't, no. Because my legs are too big.
Well, we got a special treat for you, but first of all, welcome back to St. Louis, induction in the St. Louis Sports Hall of Fame, former heavyweight champion of the world, Michael Spinks. Michael, thank you.
Thank you. No problem. All right.
See that?